Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Leah and I'm a collage artist. There's a topic that keeps arising in my DMs and I'm super passionate about it and I haven't really talked about it on here, so I wanted to give it a go in a video. And that is the relationship between confidence and artistry. I definitely have a very unique opinion on it and a very passionate one at that. So sit back, relax, grab a water, and enjoy the pep talk. Confidence is a pretty interesting topic. Maybe you can have it in your art but not in yourself, or in yourself and not in your art. The bottom line is that I don't believe that confidence gets you places. I do think that competence gets you places though. If you have competence, you can wake up and know that you're going to do the right thing, and that eventually will build your confidence. I don't really believe in confidence getting you places. There's a ton of artists that are super famous and they do not have confidence in their art or themselves. But something that does get you somewhere is competence. I know, they sound similar but are very different in practice. That means that there are days where you have no confidence in your art, but you know that you have the competence to do it right. Competence is something that you build daily. It's the practice of doing the same thing over and over again. This can really apply to building any new skill. As you build your competence, you build your confidence. But confidence is not linear the same way that competence is. Confidence ebbs and flows. Some days you're feeling really good, or maybe you've made like a little piece. It's something that's small. It's usually based off of a very short period of time and how you're feeling in that moment. There's something really strange that we've started doing in society just over the last little bit, and that's tying our self-worth to our gifts. Whether it's cooking, dance, a sport, a hobby, in this case art, how did that get tied to our self-image? And when did we start talking about our art as our own? This is my crazy delusional opinion, but I do not associate myself with my own art. I think we are two completely separate beings. We're not even a branch of each other. We are completely separate. I happen to have the technical skills and it delivers the message. How I feel is that I'm a vessel of the messages that I'm creating through my art. When we take ourselves out of our own art, it helps us be able to criticize our work way easier, which leads to a better art in general. When we tie the two together and we don't have that much confidence in ourselves, we limit our ability to create. It stops us from starting a project or finishing a project for that matter. And again, the point is that if you are not able to criticize your own work and not get offended on yourself, then there's going to be big problems. You're just not going to grow as an artist as fast. Instead of saying, my art is bad, you can say, I need to work on this small technical skill. And let me tell you, now that I'm a bit of a figure online for collage, I have a ton of people talk about my artwork, and most of the time I'm like, I don't really know if I want to show anyone this, and now I'm making videos about those pieces, and it's really showed me that, like a lot of people are going to like the pieces. Any of the ones that I call ugly, there's always someone in the comments saying like, I really like it, and like art sometimes is not meant for you and your consumption, it's meant for your audience's consumption. All this to say, I think the most important thing is practicing. If you know Malcolm Gladwell, he coined the term 10,000 hours for a practice. Let's use me for example. When I was starting my YouTube channel about art, I needed to think about the skills that I had. Have I put in about 10,000 hours on collage, 10,000 hours on video editing, and 10,000 hours on entrepreneurship? I have over 10 years of experience for all of those things, so yeah, probably. And maybe you're like, Leah, I have not done my 10,000 hours. I'm not even close to that. That's why I'm saying practice, 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 practice. Every time you're practicing, you're putting time towards that 10,000 hours. You're getting better every single time you cut something out. The more you cut, the more you put together, the more composition, the more you rip, the more you think about it, the more you're going to just get better at the skill. Whether it's collage or whether it's baking, you need to be putting time towards those things. And during this magical time, you're going to see something really incredible happen. And that thing is that you're going to see a very beautiful, steady progression on your skills, which in my opinion leads to confidence. I think somewhere along the way we've forgotten that starting a new skill is always very difficult and it always requires a lot of time and effort to even get a little bit good at it. We have to remind ourselves about this because we used to be really good at it. Take this for example, you go to a park and look at the playground. There's going to be a bunch of kids there that are going on the monkey bars and falling off after the third one, hitting the ground, getting right back up and doing it again. They have the resilience against feeling shame. If we're not amazing at it the first time, we're like, oh, I'm never going to do that again. I wasn't very good. If you're starting a new hobby, you need to go through the steps of what it takes to get there. No one starts something and is good, and we have to remember that. If I look back on videos that I created 6 months ago, I watch them and I feel like they're extremely cringe. I can see the difference in how my technical skills have gotten so much better, But it's one of those things that's just like, it's still hard to watch. And in this day and age, we've normalized sharing our work online. And for me, that's sharing art and my video work. You can look back all you want at your old pieces and cringe at it, but it's okay to be confident in the pieces that you're creating today. You're never gonna get worse, so you just have to keep going. Try out other people's techniques even, try different things. It's okay to try exercises and them not go so well. The key is that you need to be learning a lot and you need to be developing your skills. Now I feel like I'm going on a whole other tangent, but you get the point. Sometimes it's okay to be oblivious on how bad your work is when you're sharing it. And I'm not saying your work is bad, I'm just saying from your critical eyes that sometimes you're gonna feel that way. But this is why I love taking myself out of my art. I can criticize it all I want, or my videos, for example, and just be like, oh, my technical skills need to be better in this way, or I can't believe I didn't know about like the ruler that comes out of the cutting board, for example. If you watched my last video, it was very funny. As you get better and better as well, you're also gonna look back at your art and not really think that it's like up to your standard, because as you get better, your standards are also going up at the same time. You need to make the connection between those and realize that your art 6 months ago, for example, at that exact point, you would have been super proud of, or you were super proud of, and now you feel better, and that's because you've grown as an artist. It's also not okay to shame the art. You were doing your darn best when you did it. If you're developing recipes, for example, and your recipes before were worse and you found a better one and you're working on it or whatever, of course you're gonna be like, oh, this one's way better. You're not gonna be like, oh, I can't believe I was doing that so badly. Just doesn't work that way. Again, let's repeat it. Never say my art is bad or I'm bad at this thing. You need to be looking for specific critiques about your work that you want to improve. Like for example, when I look back at my video, I'm like, oh, the audio is a little bit off here, or the music was too loud. And now let's wrap up all that blabberness that I just did into a nice small package. The bottom line is that you're probably way better at collage or whatever it is than you think you are. You are always going to be your worst critic. Having criticism is totally okay and is what's going to get you farther, but putting yourself down is going to discourage you, and then you're going to start doing the thing you do less. Only put the amount of pressure that you can handle on yourself. When you start saying you're bad at something and you discourage yourself and then you stop doing it, that's when you're not growing as a person anymore and you've completely stopped yourself. And again, I'll just say that your art is not always for you. If you don't like it, maybe it's for someone else. Art, like any hobby, is therapeutic, and it's really important that you keep doing it. Treat yourself like your best friend, one that's a really good friend. That means someone who's willing to stand up and tell you the truth about certain things. Like if you need to get better at something to succeed and meet your goals, that's what you need to be for yourself. And you also need to be the pat on the back when you made something good or you feel really positive about something. What I learned in startup school is you need to celebrate the small wins. These things are so important to nurture, and do not put yourself down about them. Hopefully this wasn't too preachy, but I hope that I got the message across. But I hope that it really helped and gave you a new perspective on how you can treat yourself and your art. I find it very helpful for me, and I don't know where I would be without this mindset, so I really want you to give it a try. Just remember that this is for your own enjoyment, and you need to be enjoying it if you're doing it. You all deserve to love the art that you're creating, but it's okay to separate it from yourself. I would definitely like to know if you have similar or very different ideas in the comments. I think it's a topic that a lot of people have a lot of different opinions on, so I would love to see what you guys think. Let me know down below, and if you're not subscribed, take the time right now to hit that little button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.